Thank you for using Chores and Allowance Bot. In this video, I'm going to talk about how allowance payments and required chores work together. Required chores do not pay a specific reward amount. Instead, they are associated with allowance payments. Required chores can be used to affect how much of the allowance payment is paid to the child. Required chores are associated with the first allowance payment following the day the chore was done, or the first allowance payment following the last day of the chore was assigned, if the chore was not done. For example, if you use a daily allowance, each day's allowance payment will be created in the morning just after midnight. Each day's required chores will be associated with the allowance payment on the following day. If you have a weekly allowance that pays on Saturdays, then each week's allowance payment will be created on Saturday morning just after midnight. The required chores from the previous Saturday to the end of Friday will be associated with the allowance payment on Saturday morning. If you have a monthly allowance that pays on the 1st and 16th, then the required chores from the 1st to the 15th will be associated with the allowance payment on the 16th. And the required chores from the 16th to the end of the month will be associated with the allowance payment on the 1st of the following month. Tap on Payments to open the Payments view for Liam. In the Payments view, you can tap on the dots to expand the allowance payment to list all the required chores associated with that payment. The check boxes next to each listed chore indicate if the chore was done. Let's go to the Settings tab and then tap on Account Settings. There are 4 options for manual or automatic approval of allowance payment. The first option is to manually approve allowance payments. With this option, you must go into the Payments view under each child to approve payments. You can choose to always approve allowance payments. This option will cause the app to automatically approve all allowance payments at 100%. You can choose to approve allowance payments only if all required chores are done. Or you can choose to approve allowances proportionally to the difficulty of the required chores that were completed. Required chore difficulty is a setting in the Options section of the Chore Editor view. By default, chores are created with a difficulty of 1, but you can set the difficulty from 1 to 10. You can choose to adjust the difficulty level of your chores based on the amount of work or time you expect the chore to take. The app uses the difficulty level of your chores to calculate how much allowance to approve. The difficulty of chores that were done is divided by the difficulty of all chores that were assigned, then multiplied by the allowance amount. The result is the amount of allowance that is approved. This calculation assures that chores with a high difficulty will have a large impact on the amount of allowance approved, and chores with a low difficulty level will have a small impact. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos about Chores and Allowance Bot. Do you have any questions about the app? Comment below. Thank you.